Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum. Megalaya chapter, matagasngi ka khandai tarik jong unailar arajat arpulai kalaraki, ia kata ka International Day of Indigenous People, lani kata kasngi jong Trai Muluk. Ia kini kajing rakhe la pelong hapa ka Convention Center jong Northeastern Hill University, hakabaki kenuan bat kisang jong Trai Muluk kelia syam bentah. Hakani kajing rakhe umati nabak jong kejala Conrad sangma ulalong ukongsan, Baladon langru kiwi pat kenengelam dekat hanchtai lam migi jong kari India. Habakran hakani ka jalang Conrad ulaong baka benta jong Trai Muluk kolong ban don la ka jong ka identity. Lene kata ka jing itu bakar pangi na ka benta jong ki. Handai ulaong ru ka jok kapor baka ni ka de juk ka baki Trai Muluk kemde Shuh ban up community na di bachani abait tang hakata ka reservation lan di ka jing bak karpang na ka benta jong ki. Shuh ulaong bakalong kabadon kam haduk kata-kata baki seng ki badi peit nak mata Trai Muluk kenyaliak kat bala bandan nak ka documentation ni kata ka jengbu jeng thok ka bakar pang samangka history ni ka jeng em jong Trai Muluk banda kelang jong ka sarkaru rengkat ka jetelang baki bo jong ka district council kala sim ni kan kala kelenti ban bu documentation lani bandan nak ka jeng thok ki bapaka syapang ka ru ka em lani ka culture jong Trai Muluk.
About what makes you different from, say, another community. I will not use the word tribe because indigenous people are tribals and some are not tribals because that's just a classification being come out by Government of India. But indigenous is indigenous. So any community, the identity of who we are, what we are, our roots, that is what really this is all about. And that's why in this entire work that we are trying to do, I really agree with what Badani had just mentioned. And I think it's really, really clear from even the theme of this program. And he said that you must be proud of your identity. I think it starts with a basic thing like having pride and being proud of who you are. I very often tell people that the most important and yet the most difficult and yet maybe the most simplest change that you can make in anybody or anywhere is the change in the mindset. My late father used to tell me and tell many other youths, especially youths of the Northeast and especially the tribal youths. He said the day the mindset of the youth of Northeast will start changing, that is when the Northeast will start changing. The day the youth of the Northeast and especially the tribal community stop expecting, please mark my words, stop expecting that there will be reservation for them in everything they do, and that everything should come easy to them. The day the youth change that mindset, that is the day the Northeast will start moving forward and changing. And he was a huge advocate of this. He said, Conrad, a youth need to look beyond reservation. It's not about whether reservation is needed or not, or whether it should be given taken away. That's not the debate. But the mindset should be that of telling yourself that I'm going to be competing with the rest of the world. And I don't need reservation to compete. I will compete at whatever level with the capacity that God has blessed me with. We need to be proud of who we are. I love the way my friend Lame just summed it. And sometimes, just because we keep fighting with the political leadership, we don't even realize what are the things that we can do at our own level and change things for us. I really am a big believer that it starts with yourself. It starts with what you want to do. Everything else will follow. You take that first step. If you really believe in something, if you say that the rights of indigenous people must be protected, but start working for it. Start doing something for it. It's not just about having a political fight with somebody. No. It starts with small things that you do. It starts with being proud of what you are. It starts with not taking yourself or our people for granted and saying, well, I'm going to compete with the rest of the world at the highest level. And I think these kind of small things that you do makes a difference. I urge the association. I urge the forum. We must push for detailed documentation. I'll tell you, the one thing that we lack as indigenous people, especially from Northeast, is that we have no clue and idea and no documentation, or rather very less documentation, on really what we are and who we are. I go to the Bangala festival of the Garos, and I can't tell you which drum beat is what does it signify. It's difficult because there are like 20, 25 different beats. There are different rhythms and different aspects being represented while they are dancing, and each one has a unique story behind it. But then that knowledge is no longer with the youth. I'm sure in every tribe, every community, this kind of indigenous knowledge is disappearing today. I was expecting and